Hi guys, it's B. Welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance, and this is step back number 59 in our Summer of Stepbacks countdown. How are we in the 50s already? I just don't know, but I'm glad to be doing this with you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me, especially if you've been here since number 100. You should feel very accomplished, especially if you've been helping me with flower identification through half of these. You poor things. I put you to work so much. You're so lovely. Let's go ahead though and talk about Shannon Drake's book, which is Tomorrow the Glory. We have actual die cutting here, which means that they cut a hole out of this cover. It's very rare that we actually find a keyhole cutout. We have gold foiling on the author's name as well, and the title, embossing also for this beautiful flower, which, you know what I'm gonna say. If you happen to know it, shout it out. Call it right out. We'll be happy to see it. By the way, this is not a flat, smooth surface. There are teeny pinpricks all throughout, but you can feel them. I wish you could feel it. It's just texturized. It's really fascinating, and I wonder what the purpose was in opting to do that, because my assumption is it probably costs more money. But here's the extra fascinating thing. We've got the couple. They're embracing. Let's open this up and take a peek. The thing that really fascinates me about this is our author. This is her husband, as well as here. These are her actual children. You know this partly because, guess what? Here's a photograph of them on the back. How cool is that? That she and her husband, also shown on the spine here. Now I'm realizing I need to take off a sticker. The fact that they're on this together, I love this spine, by the way. The gold foiling, the flower, the author and her husband. How cool is that? If I were to write a book, I would want to do something like this where everybody's included. I just think that's the neatest thing. Let's look at this piece by piece before we go into the plot. We see our author's husband. He's looking very magnanimous, very important, in an oval-shaped portrait there. And in front of him are two children looking, quite frankly, bored, which is actually how my children look when we do family portraits, so accurate. We see in the background, oh my gosh, is that a submarine? Holy cow! I'm excited about that. I love reading about submarines. That's kind of a weird thing about me. One of my favorite books that's not romance, by the way, this is totally random. Shadow Divers is one of my favorite books ever. That's a story for another time. I'm gonna link it in the description box in case you want to learn more, but it's got it all. Okay, trying to stay focused. Let's talk more about this. We have battleships in the background, as well as the Stars and Stripes. We can tell this is American. Author is rocking a choker with a cameo in the center, as well as a gorgeous blue gown. Look at her holding that up. She is really rocking it. This, by the way, was done, of course, by none other than Pinot in 1993, because apparently I'm only allowed to look at Pinot from now on. We're gonna see some other artists, I promise. Something I rarely notice when I look at this, which I'm focusing on now, is the wetland environment that's featured in the very center. We see what appears to be cranes or herons in the water, as well as a tree that is common to be found in swamps, marshland, wetland, what have you. Let's learn a little bit more about what's happening in this book. This looks really intense. Holy cow. We have a woman, Kendall Moore. She's a spirited Southern belle, as proud as she is beautiful, driven by a cruel marriage bed betrayal to risk her life in a dangerous gamble for freedom. The man, he is Brent McLean, the Confederate agent who meets Kendall aboard the warship Jenny Lind and loses his heart in a single searing night of passion. But war and treachery soon tear them apart. Brent into raging battle, Kendall into desperate flight from a scorned husband's white-hot vengeance. What? They live only for the promise of tomorrow and a love that will burn forever in both their hearts. I wonder if these children that are featured are supposed to be her children with her husband? So she's having an affair? That's something I haven't seen yet. And both our hero and heroine are both part of the Confederacy, something else I have not yet seen. So this is going to be a very interesting book. Who's read it? What are the thoughts? I'm very curious. The Jenny Lind is an actual warship during the Civil War. I have a link in my description box if you want to learn more. Join us again tomorrow for a book by an author that we featured a while ago in our countdown. And this book is Scandalous. Oh, I just said a word in the title. If you have a prediction, leave it in the comments below, or you can just leave me an emoji about how you feel about this plot. Really curious to see. Until next time, I hope you're doing well. Take care. Bye.